Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to be reviewing Week 1's action from the NFL. I'll go through the teams that I picked, the actual winners, and the final score of the game. So the very first game had the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I did predict that Baltimore would win. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be. 27-20 would be the final score in favor of the Chiefs. The Friday game took place in Brazil, of all places. The Philadelphia Eagles took on the Green Bay Packers. I did predict that Philly would win this game, and they did. The final score would be 34-29. Sunday's action kick-started in Atlanta as the Falcons played host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I did predict that Atlanta would win, but unfortunately they did not. 18-10 would be the final score in favor of the Steelers. The next matchup took place in Buffalo as the Bills, played host to the Arizona Cardinals. I did predict that Buffalo would win. It was a very close game. 34-28 would be the final score in favor of the Bills. The next game took place in Chicago as Caleb Williams, the first overall pick selected by the Bears, played host to Will Levis, I believe, and the Tennessee Titans. One thing I did mention in my preview, and I should have been more clear, was that the last time a rookie number one overall pick won his first game was back in 2002. I think that was David Carr, if I'm not mistaken. So Caleb Williams finally broke that 20-plus year streak of a rookie quarterback drafted first overall, getting his first win in his first game. The final score would be 24-17 in favor of the Bears. The Cincinnati Bengals played host to Gerard Mayo and the New England Patriots. Yes, that is right. Bill Belichick is no longer the head coach of the Patriots. I went with Cincinnati. That was my gut instinct, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be. 16-10 would be in favor of the Patriots. They have now kicked off their season with a 1-0 start. A division matchup in the AFC South as the Indianapolis Colts played host to the Houston Texans. I did predict that Houston would win this game, and they did. 29-27, a very close contest, and they got the best of the Colts in week number 1. A battle of Florida as the Miami Dolphins played host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did predict that Miami would win. It was a closer contest than I had anticipated. 20-17 would be the final score in favor of the Dolphins. A battle in the NFC South as the New Orleans Saints took on the Carolina Panthers. I did predict that New Orleans would win this game, but I didn't think it was going to be a blowout as bad as it was. 47-10 would be the final score in favor of Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. In New York, the Giants played host to the Minnesota Vikings. I did predict that Minnesota would win this game. 28-6 would be the final score in favor of the Vikings. That contract for Daniel Jones is not looking that great as we speak. A battle in the AFC West as the Los Angeles Chargers played host to the Las Vegas Raiders. I did predict that LA would get the victory. 22-10 would be the final score in favor of the Chargers. They've obviously started off 1-0, and the Raiders are 0-1. The Seattle Seahawks played host to my Denver Broncos, and I love my team, but I know it's going to be a struggle for some time. The final score would be 24-17 in favor of the Seahawks. They've obviously kicked off their season with a victory, 1-0, and the Broncos are 0-1. The Cleveland Browns played host to the Dallas Cowboys. I did predict the Cowboys would win this game, and they did big time. 33-17 would be the final score in favor of Dallas. They're obviously 1-0, and the Browns are 0-1. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers played host to the Washington Commanders. I did predict that Tampa Bay would get the victory. 37-20 would be the final score in favor of the Bucs. They're obviously 1-0, and the Washington Commanders are 0-1. The Sunday night game took place in Detroit as the Lions played host to the Los Angeles Rams. I did predict that Detroit would get the win, and they did. It would take overtime. 26-20 would be the final score as the Lions got their first win of the season, and the Rams are 0-1. Monday night's action took place in San Fran as the San Francisco 49ers played host to the New York Jets. I did predict that San Fran would get the win in this contest, and they did. I think it was 35-19 or 34-19. It was a bit of a lopsided score. It was close, but not that close. So obviously San Fran is 1-0 on the season, and the Jets are 0-1. But if you're a Jets fan, don't have to worry, as at least Aaron Rodgers played the full game. He didn't just play one series and went down with an ACL. So he should be up and ready for game number 2, which should be next week. So that takes care of all the predictions and the results from week number 1. I had a 13-3 record, so we'll see if I can keep that momentum into week number 2, and I will keep track of my season record and see how I do at the end of week number 18. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.